And there we go, buddy. Hi, everybody. Hanging out with us today. Oh, great. Now, where is my
Hello.
mouse? Hello.
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 We're live now. Yep. Surprise. There's that. But why is my world map gone? What a pain. Everything's just got to decide to break on me. It's literally right there, OBS. What is wrong with you? Anyways, hi. You look at my face today and everybody else's icons because we are here for the holidays. What is wrong with you?
A lot of things.
Oh my
So
gosh.
much.
It just doesn't want to see it now. We can see Galea. There's the world map. Gosh, what a pain in the Badinsky. Hi everybody.
Wow.
I
Tell us
know.
what you really think.
I know. I'm using the real strong words today, Badinsky. Yeah, Happy New Year's, everybody.
Oh yeah, right. Happy New Year. Yes.
Yeah, we're giving everybody the night off. We got a couple people that have families still in town, so we said, you know what? We can do world building, and so we rounded up all the artists today. We got Mel and Sam and Sarah. Obviously Mel and Sarah play with us, but Sam does all of the gorgeous art and plays with other friends on other games. If I think, is everybody here? Do y'all want to say where people can find you on Insta? I think we've got some commands here.
Well, I'm s.bowne everywhere, pretty much. Yeah.
I think I'm smart and I have a command for this. I do.
Hey.
Art.
Yeah, I have a brand.
Art command. And Mel's on there too. Mel, can they find you?
Yay!
You can find me on everything at Monster FEX.
Yeah. And then we have
Monster Fed.
And I think we have another command for the team.
Yeah.
I'm smart. I did things. I just got to remember where they're at. And Sarah's in there. There it is. Second one down.
Yes.
Sarah, where can they
You can
find you?
find me basically everywhere at SassyCat21.
Sweet. So yeah, they're working on some fun art, doing some stuff, hanging out. I'm working on some world building, and we figured we'd hang out with you all. So we are getting by, and there's a baby beating on the door again.
Oh no.
Oh,
Trying to get in. He wants
Cutie.
to attack me
cutie.
again.
Cute.
He is. We're wrapping up the last of our Christmas packing, and it is an all-day chore. We were at it all day. And they're still finishing up, but we're about done. That's what you get when you marry a Hallmark lady who wants to have 4 rooms of Christmas with different themes.
Oh no.
Gotta have all the Christmas rooms.
Sure.
I'm on her side.
Well,
You need more Christmas rooms.
our dining room had we have this really nice like industrial farmhouse style like light that runs down the table, and it's a long light because I have a 12-seater dining room table. Because there are 10 people that live in this house, so I mean I have a huge family here, so it's necessary.
10? I thought you had 8.
I have 10 that live here. Me, my wife, 5 kids, my mother-in-law, my mother, and my grandmother. And concur everybody.
Wow.
Dang.
Yeah. So, yeah, we have a very large table, and in that room, we have the 3 buffets that, store a lot of our kitchen supplies, but it's also nice to, be able to serve food off of them, which is really helpful. And then we still managed to cram an entire Christmas tree into that room. And that was the gnome-themed Christmas tree to go with the gnome-themed, I'll be gnome for the holidays, Christmas stuff that belongs on the dining room table and the buffets.
Wow.
Incredible.
Sorry. Some would call it that. Others would call it obsessive.
That's impressive.
Yeah,
Listen, if you've got a home, you can decorate it however you want.
that's true. That's what she
Yeah.
says. I mean, we have a very long, it's a much older house, so it's not like an open floor concept or anything like that. So it was built in like the 60s, I think. So we have the long kind of hallway that runs the width of the house. And so we've got like family pictures and stuff, and then she's got like, you know, her fun wall. Like we've got the nerd plaque, you know, that's like in this house we you know, we know what the 42 is the answer to, you know, we use the force, we're sorting out, so all the nerd stuff that we love. And then naturally, because she's obsessed, there is a entire section committed to Highland cows. Like, it's right across from
those the fluffy ones?
Yes, it's right across from the Minnesota wall with the hockey stuff. So, you know, I think I have one picture of me up there somewhere in that mess of like everything, but you know, it makes her happy, so we do what she wants. Because I get to do things like this, play D&D. So let's see. Phalanx Knight is currently working on a 6th D&D character, Morbius Helsing Bloodstone, the Damphir Alchemist Artificer Blood Hunter.
There's a lot of stuff all at
That
once.
is a lot. That is a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Alchemist Artificer Blood Hunter.
Can't talk, though. I recently played a changeling werebearer barbarian that is secretly a demigod that can change into essentially the Hindu goddess with 6 arms.
So it's a werebear barbar.
It's a werebear.
Werebear barbar. Yeah, post it up in the Discord. I'm sure people would love to give feedback on it. I'm interested in how that's working with the 3-class multi-classing. That always gets me going to the super multi-class. Yeah. So I don't know. Does anybody have any art that they want to send me to share with the group that's doing super awesome stuff right now, or we can just continue bullshitting and working on stuff?
I don't think it's finished right now. Sketches.
I can share one sec. I'm about to finish this one, so might as well.
Yeah, if you want to send me a picture to share, you can, or you can try to share your screen. If you don't think it's screen share is going to work, feel free to just send me a copy and I'll post it up.
Okay.
Mine is currently 90% work in progress right now.
90%. Oh. Hey, that's like
the
most
one that
of
is finished.
Cyorion.
I can't share.
Yeah, can't share that one, unfortunately.
Maybe art share?
Well, no, this one will be Discord only.
Oh
'cause
no,
Twitch sucks.
I did something recently of Max's new outfit.
Oh.
Ooh, hold on. Let me, boom. I'll just do it like that, I think. There we go.
my airdrop is not working. I'll just send it directly to the Discord art share.
There you
It's
go.
annoying.
So there is Sarah's that she just the Jaeger bombs strapped, strapped to the inner thigh. What a dangerous place to keep Jaeger bombs.
Yeah.
Oh,
You don't need your
thigh.
leg.
There you go.
Listen, she can fly. She doesn't need that thigh if it blows up.
That's true.
Yeah,
She does
exactly.
not. Oh, it looks really good. What did she get her ear torn from?
I imagine any number of things. I don't have a specific thing, but I'm just thinking she has very long ears and she's in battle a lot and she gets knocked unconscious a lot. I'd like to think it was in the Diggin fight.
I feel like you'd have a bunch of cool scars by now.
Yeah. Because, I mean, she gets knocked unconscious a lot. So I figured that she has a few bumps and scratches. And
And
so
then even when I try to do mean things, like I'm going to disfigure the side of your face with acid tears, you're like, yeah, cool. I'm going to make it a badass tattoo now. Fuck you.
yeah. Exactly.
Oh, I love all the jewelry.
Oh, yeah.
The collection keeps growing, which is awesome. I keep forgetting she's wearing a double bangle on one arm. It's going to get her in trouble one day.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we use Dale Kingsmill's Thieves' Cant, which is indicated by wearing double-banded jewelry on specific parts of your body. So the thing is like someone would come up to Maximiel and start speaking in thieves' cant to her, to try to suss out like what type of work she may be looking for, or like if she's can help somebody out with something. But because it would confuse Max, the person would just realize that, you know, Max is clearly not actually in the know of the language, and would just be like, oh, sorry, I'm mistaken for somebody else, and would move on. So I can't remember what left wrist is for. I think it's for like smuggling or forgery. No, forgery was a ring. I think the wrist was smuggling. If you had double neck pieces, that's for assassination. I know that.
Well, I do wear 2 necklaces.
Well, nope. It would be like this bangle here that you have is clearly a double banded. 2 necklaces would not indicate it, but this double bangle is definitely indicative. However, you have single rings everywhere else. They may take a look at you and be like, probably not.
Yeah,
and then
she
look at happy
doesn't.
little Gus.
Yeah,
Little guy.
she's very important.
Not important enough to be on her while she's leaping into battle, though. He's hiding on the right hand side.
He's in the holding area.
All right, I am going to pop open Sam's piece here. There is a lot going on in this one. I'm going to try to fix the scroll a little bit so we can fill the screen, and then I'll start from one side so you can kind of walk us through what we're looking at here.
This is an outfit breakdown for one of my oldest characters ever. He used to be like a sci-fi like gray alien with like keratin head spikes, but I was like, I'm tired of sci-fi, I'm gonna make him completely fantasy, so now he's just sort of tiefling-esque. But this is for an original world that I have called Erida. And yeah, I have first half pretty much all like pre-time skip. Afterwards is about 7-ish years later. Yeah. My pathetic wet cat of a son.
I love how intricate your fucking clothing is on your characters.
It is.
It is.
It seems so meticulous and like it would take so long to do. But I love it too.
This is actually one of the easiest outfits for me to recreate because I've done it so often. It's just those stupid beads are miserable, but he needs to have them, otherwise all his friends and family will think he's a big old liar because the magic system is basically psychometry and animism. So the beads basically are like little miniature contracts that he can keep track of promises and business deals and whatnot.
It is awesome.
That's really neat.
I'm looking primarily here at the differences that 7 years makes. This is post.
Not much. Yeah.
I mean, just the hair,
different borders.
Mm-hmm.
And he has sear tags.
He has eyeliner.
Oh,
yeah, he got it when he went on a trip with his friend to like basically a tropical culture who wears a lot of like face makeup. He was like, hell yeah.
And picked up a new scar on the right hand side.
Yeah. It's a miracle he still has both eyes left.
Yeah, the trim changed on the sides of the robe too.
Mm-hmm.
And you said he picked up 2 sear tabs. That's these right here.
They're like little red tag things. They're like sort of like prayer flags, but mostly for like exorcisms. And keeping things from spoiling in jars.
The Griffin.
I like how that's 2 very different things.
Well, the concept is that they're like the red is representative of like God's blood and whatnot, and it's supposed to create a barrier that prevents things from getting in, like evil spirits, which is what believed to cause like illness and like things rotting when they're in jars. You stick one on the outside, you won't get possessed, you won't get sick. Your food stays nice.
I feel like I need that for my everyday life.
Same.
I think the only thing I have finished lately is my paladin's son. Because I had to update the
Oh.
art for him.
Little guy.
The little,
So
my little
cute.
boy. I'll just reset it so he doesn't have to scroll for it.
Thank you. I could go find it, I'm sure. Like, oh,
I don't think it's
God,
that far.
I had to look back at that.
Here, I'll cleanse your page with an adorable child.
Thank you. Mel has phenomenal artwork for the combat that's coming up. We're so excited.
I'm it's one of those where I so badly wanted to put clothing on top of it, but with the body horror I wanted for it, it wouldn't have read quite the same.
Oh yeah, it would not have been as terrifying without. But it's gonna be good. Oh man.
Because I did a mock-up, like a quick sketch of like the clothing over it. I'm like, no, that takes away a lot of the spook, fortunately.
I did forget to share too when I was showing y'all my World's Okayest Dad mug earlier. It's because I have my emotional support water bottle, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That one of the stickers on there is the World's Okayest DM.
Mm.
And then I really love this one. Sarah, that's one just for you. I don't know if it focused well.
I can't see it very well. It's mole.
It's a mole.
Oh.
It's perfect.
That's more
Side
chemistry
accurate.
than what I do.
But you
We don't-
still knew it.
I did still know it. That is fair.
And then on the bottom of it, it says Dwight, you intelligent man. So if you have it on screen, you're like, what does that one say? You're covered in water. I've got my T-Rex while I'm waiting for Mel's art here.
It says it's sending my I just have really huge drawing files now because
And then we have a little. It almost looks like a red fox because with the color, but it's a Shiba Inu eating ramen.
Oh,
I like that one. It's so
Yeah.
cute.
And then my little.
Oh.
I've got 2 red pandas because that's my favorite animal of all time is red pandas.
Oh.
Got that one, and then I have one sleeping on a branch next to the donut that says "Donut
Oh.
Worry."
Oh, cute.
All of it next to the big dice that says "Natural Disaster," and it's a 1.
I think
There
my
it
favorite
is.
sticker on my water bottle is still existence as a fuck.
It's the best sticker anywhere. Look at this boy in these adorable clothes with this giant fuck off sized weapon.
Yep. The weapon Nate made, and I just slapped it on the back because I did not feel like redrawing it.
Why
my boy?
why does your baby boy have a giant sword?
Ask
That's
Nate.
twice
Child
the size.
soldiers.
Ask Nate.
Okay. Child soldiers?
Ask Nate why he has child soldiers in his campaign.
I feel like that's a red flag for a couple campaigns there that I'm in. We're gonna nope that right away.
He was like 6 when the campaign started, and then some time fuckery happened, and now he's like almost 20.
That's almost 20? He's almost
No,
20.
this was him like halfway through when Nate initially was like, all right, so time is passing back home in the Feywild and years are going by and your son's at now like 14, like 12 to 14 area.
Oh, sad.
Does that mean you're gonna have to draw him again at age 20?
I feel like Nate's doing that one.
Ooh.
He's so cute and small.
Small baby.
I love his braid.
He's
Big
a
chunky braid.
child soldier.
The chunky braid is very cool. I like this a lot.
Yeah, I asked Nate, I was like, all right, so what should I know for this, like for physical changes since, you know, it's been, I think at that point he said 7 years to her son since he saw his mom. I was like, well, he's like, well, he hasn't cut his hair at all. I'm like, okay, cool. Big braid it is.
I do love that you can tell this is absolutely a Nate design sword from the art too. If you've seen enough
Yeah.
of Nate's weapon art, you can be like, yeah, that is absolutely designed by Nate, put on the back layer of this.
Yeah.
Yep.
I did not feel like redrawing it because I have one of him just without the sword.
Mm.
And then I just slapped the sword in there because I did not feel like redrawing all of that to add on top.
But Nate does draw some phenomenal weapons.
Oh, he draws phenomenal weapons.
Yeah.
I have to
Oh,
go
yeah.
back and there was
Sword guy.
let me see. Oh well, you guys are here. You guys can have the sneak peek if you did not watch Nate's art stream. Here's our rot fungal covered chamber for
Oh yeah, the battle map.
the battle map
Looks
for
so good.
this week.
Oh, yay. Oh, boy.
It's not that scary.
I definitely have an issue. I found when I was talking to him after he sent it to me, I realized that I love my purple and blue crystal color themes too much, and he had this white crystal originally, and remembered after he had sent it that I had said purple and blue, and I was like, no, just actually leave it, because it actually looks like someplace different, which never freaking happens, because I'm always just like, these are the crystal colors that people use, and they're always the damn same because I am unoriginal. All right. At least I feel very unoriginal when it comes to crystal colors. I'm like, purples and blues are pretty.
A barbarian that I've only ever sparingly gotten to play.
Oh, good. Let me pull that up while I'm looking back for another one of Nate's weapons, because I know he sent them to me.
Did I send over the image of her with Akalia?
Gotta have the Goya friends, the big Goya friends.
Big girlfriends.
All right, who are we looking at here? Because this is your character, Mel.
Yeah, this is a character I repurposed for a Saturday campaign. This is the Werebear Barbarian. But for some reason, every time the character dies, she wakes up in a new body and has that mask attached to her. So it's just like, I have some characters in the wings that'll look really good with that slapped on top. We had fun with that one. But I have been trying to play Torva the fucking werebear for years now.
Never came up, or just
never came up, and I finally got a chance to play her, and it was so much fun.
What does her what do the runes on her arms say?
The ones on her arms I can't remember. I think I just put random ones there at the time. I know she has one on her forehead underneath the mask that denotes protection.
Probably should have looked them up before drawing them.
Yeah, should have, but the design was old and I didn't feel like redoing it.
Yeah. I know, I mean, I should have. I don't think the forms of my letters turned out very good because of it.
So I don't think I'm going to share the stat block for this, but this may find its way to Doran. Nate sent me this like 7 months ago, and he says he has the perfect unreasonably big sword for Doran. So here is one of his weapons that he made. This is called the World Cleaver.
Oh, I know this one. Yes.
So
I know the sword.
That may be a Doran weapon at some point. That's
Ew! Yeah.
part of the problem with Nate designing awesome weapons is he's always like, I've got this cool new weapon and it would be really good for this character. I'm like, it really is fucking great for that character. And I really just, I want to give it to him. But then as soon as I do, I know that like 3 people watching the stream and 2 players are just gonna be like, hee, I know what this does.
Buster sword looking.
No, the problem is I don't know what it does. I just know that it hurts.
The stat block is horrifying.
Yeah, Nate's baddies really get some real fun weapons.
Don't jinx it.
That's terrifying.
We're gonna die.
Yeah, we're gonna die later. It's fine, dude. Just
yeah, none of us can use magic without agony.
Yeah,
right now.
I keep scrolling for one more and see if I can find one more weapon, because I think the next one I'm going to see is the blade he worked on for me for Botrin. Yeah, the Dreamweaver. Which was super cool, but my god, Nate and I message each other so much I can't find it. Oh, here's some art that made its way back holding a new weapon. Here's this little guy. that Mel probably remembers.
Yeah. I miss
Oh,
Catherine.
yeah.
So cool.
Big kitty.
Big lion.
Um,
They keep saying that we'll end up playing the game again. I'm like, when?
I know. I would love to
When?
go back and play him again. This was on Nate's kind of Mateo's game where he would run with groups of like one-shot-esque stuff. And Keth was my character in one of them. One of my characters, I had like 3 scouts. But Keth did all sorts of shit because he was the only one I really wanted to play. Those were pretty fun, but Keth was the jam.
I think my favorite from that group is, from my lineup was still Sketch.
Sketch was phenomenal, especially the discussion on which way the cobalt eyes looked, so we could figure out if he could do 2 perception checks or a single perception check.
Man, I see a lot of stuff with the left eye. The right one's got some gunk on it.
There we go. There's one of the daggers he designed. That one's got some really interesting pieces, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty.
It's got that
Yeah.
really awesome opalescent accent on the back, and then the kind of impossible Damascus waves up and down the metal.
Yeah, the weapons that Nate makes are like absolutely phenomenal, and it sucks because you want to use all of them, but you can't use all of them.
Yeah. Very easy way to get overpowered quickly. Oh, here we go. Sam,
Bless you.
who are we looking at here?
Oh, it was just it was the drawing I did of Aklia and Torva.
They're
Girlfriends.
Very specifically, Sarah, it said, girlfriends.
I ruined it for you.
Girlfriends.
Girlfriends.
Yeah, I think Torva's almost 8 feet tall. I forget how tall Aklia is.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
I was gonna have her at 5'6" at first, but I didn't want to draw like a really
Oh, no.
short person holding hands with a really tall
She
person. So I was
would've
like, fuck it. She's
Should
real
have been
tall
down
now.
to like here.
Yeah.
Just like,
She's been like waist height.
This is my 3rd character where I'm like, well,
wait, it
I
would have
guess I'm
been,
making her a foot taller now.
it would have been Gillis Serene all over again.
yeah, that's already a struggle.
Oh, bam. Fantastic.
It's, the waist height is perfect height. It's fine.
Easy to carry.
Everyone's
Exactly.
like, Torva uppies. I'm like, all right, go up on these shoulders. You get better advantage point from 10 feet up.
If you ever want to be a part of the art, make sure to jump in, hang out in Discord with us, because we've got our art share channel that all these amazing artists that just I can't figure out the patience or the time to put pen and paper and make it not look like it's like something drawn by a 6th grader hopped up on Mountain Dew and pixie sticks. Always just blows my mind. So you should definitely come along and hang out if you want to see all the awesome art as it becomes available. Because these phenomenal people are always sharing their really, really cool stuff. And then what they don't share, it's hiding in the background waiting to go onto a stream somewhere, and you will eventually see it, because there's always plots afoot with fantastic new art. Which I have to plot with Sam and come up with something new. Actually, you know what's really horrifying, Sam? I think it's time to give you the full description for the Herald of Rot, so we can get good art for her. Oh. So that's
Excited.
I'm terrified for me to finally bring that creature to life, because we're getting there now. We're getting close, especially with our Christmas level up. Man, what does that put us up to now? Let's see here. Pulling up a character, that'll put us up to level 13.
13?
Ooh.
That means we're like
Oh, here we go. There was
between
boy.
3 and 5 levels away.
the original picture of her son.
Oh, cool. Let me get him. Oh, I remember this one. He's so adorable.
He's so tiny.
So Sarah, are you ready for unbelievable amounts of cuteness?
Yes. Baby.
BB.
Oh, baby.
Yes, a baby boy.
Baby boy.
Little
Oh,
5
he
slash
looks so
6-year-old.
innocent and happy.
Eee.
Just give it a decade or so.
Don't worry, he's already had a decade or so.
Oh, they're tieflings, right? With the
No, satyrs.
Satyrs, okay.
Mhm.
I never got I have seen so many pieces of art of that whole family, and I have no idea what the characters' names are because I've never seen them in a game, because it's a game that I'm not a part of. So it's just like, oh, it's Mel's this character, and it's Mel's this character's mom, and it's spicy pictures of Mel's this character having sexy times, and I'm like, I'm seeing a lot about this character.
We have an NSFW channel for fun times, okay? Everyone
do.
likes to.
We do.
Here's a sketch of mom on her mount.
But I
I
have
forget
seen
how fucking terrifying this woman is.
what I'm saying is that I have seen a history of these characters and know so little about their names and stuff, and like what races and clans, but all the art, I'm just like, God, it's all so fucking good. Oh yeah, I remember this picture. Did no, Nate did the one of her walking forward with the weapon.
No, that was me doing that one. JoJo posing of my bard's mom walking towards
Is that, oh, Nate may have just shared it with me because he was sending me all sorts of updates when that was happening with the colorful like flower armor that's horrifying.
Yeah.
It's just like,
that's
she's
my,
so pretty
that's my
and
bard's
she's
mom.
going to destroy me. All right, this picture is very, very very imposing.
Yeah, my paladin Morgana, she's fucking terrifying, and I genuinely forget how terrifying she looks.
Yeah. Friend-shaped.
So friend-shaped. But I made it to where her kid looks like a carbon copy of her, just with slightly curlier hair.
Oh.
It's like her whole thing is single mom with a kid that,
Yeah.
she got into the Paladin Order before having the kid and has stayed in the Paladin Order since.
I'm just saying, Nazgul ain't got shit on her.
It's funny because her whole inspiration was the Witch King of Angmar.
Mm.
I was like, I want a nature mom version of that.
well, this is definitely coming full terrifying circle.
I have big scary mom.
And she doesn't say cheesy lines like "no man can slay me" and before getting her ass whooped by a woman. Just like, she's imposing enough as is. She doesn't need cheesy one-liners.
There we go. I still got to do an update on her armor because she has new armor now. But
Seriously, what is the weight on the head of a flail like that? That's got to be like a 45 or a 50-pound head to that flail.
I mean, the woman has a 21 strength score, so she's fine.
You don't care. You don't care.
She lifts for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's just only gains.
Yeah. Magnus, the barbarian on Sunday's game, has a feature that he's doing the alternate barbarian from Laser Llama mixed with the Valda's muscle barbarian. Like, I let him keep some of those features, and we kind of blended them together so he could have them and not be super overpowered. But he has this this feature to call on the ancients, and he gains for the course of that rage +4 to the cap of his strength score and the 4 points for the duration. So he's very terrifying. The void behemoth that they just faced used its layer actions to teleport him away from the fight, and was just like, we're gonna deal with this the best way possible. First, we're gonna drop magical darkness, then move away because you don't have blind fighting, and it does. So it did that, and then after he had sprinted towards it, like he did the I have an old I've got the sprint option where you can move 5 times your move speed if you just sacrifice all actions. So Magnus started at the opposite side of the room, sprints towards it, and then it's like, cool, magical darkness layer action on the 20 initiative, and then on its initiative, it's gonna go bloop and teleport away from you. And so he turns around and is like, fine, charges back over, like slugs his way back over to it, trying to like buff up on the way there. Finally gets up to it after it's pulling bullshit with, you know, with legendary actions and layer actions to like just stay far enough away from the melee and harass the casters. That finally Magnus gets up to it, connects with one round of combat, and then it turns around for that layer action and just goes boop, and he fails his wisdom save and gets teleported out. It was like within, I think I gave him 10 rounds to get back, but basically I teleported him out of this like cave that they were in back up to the forest above. And so I loaded him onto the other map and he's like, son of a bitch. It's like, I can't beat you in toe-to-toe combat, but I have
It's just the
crafty
barbarian
characters that will
curse.
just throw you away.
That's like my fiance's character, Justice, in our
Mhm.
Monday night game. He cannot go a single fight without getting mind controlled because the enemy's like, no. No.
Nope.
Mhm.
I have not done that to them yet because they don't. Chris realizes how horrifying the concept of Magnus's low intelligence and wisdom saves are. I don't think it's fully clicked for the rest of them yet, so I'm waiting for it to be, you know, he's sufficiently powerful enough that this mind control is probably going to kill somebody, and then I'm going to spring that.
Yeah. Yeah, Nate throws that on us on every fight, and I have to spend my entire time using Hold Monster on him to keep him from killing us.
Perfect.
Okay, so Justice and our Paladin decided to do like a mock, like, oh, let's, spar, see what our damage is against each other. In a single round, he took our level 14 Paladin to 0.
Good lord.
Ugh.
Oh, we have
I think he did crit damage for like over 100. It's disgusting.
now. This is this mom or is this your character?
This is Mom.
This is mom. Yep. Okay.
This is my character. This is the Paladin that I play.
Yep. This is mom of cute little boy.
This is our group's resident single mom who's definitely not paid enough for the shit that she's doing.
I remember this piece, and I showed the armorless piece, like the without the head and the full body, because
Mhm.
this is very cute, and then this is very scary. Boom. That armor is just awe-inspiring. I love so many of the details on this armor.
Yeah, it's still
love
one of
the
my favorites I
roses.
designed.
Yeah, I love the thorns, much like thorns on a vine for roses up on the headdress. The roses and the thorns on the shoulder plates, and then you come down to the hoofs and they've got these nasty spikes off the end of them.
So
And then
many
all the
lines.
spikes on these shields. Oh,
Drinks cup.
Yeah,
DMs are
that one
very-
took me forever. Here?
that shield is probably close to 400 pounds, but she'll be fine. I mean, look at the size of that.
The shield is fucking terrifying.
And then you have the flail with the spike chain and this massive head.
Yep.
Just
Yeah, she's definitely taken out a lot of people with not fun times for them with that one.
if you note, chain skirt and then no armor underneath because you cannot restrict the power of these fucking thighs.
Can't restrict the power of the thighs. Man.
It's just impossible, especially with thighs like that. Sauron's flail is bitch made next to this flail.
Sauron's flail is that was another one where I was like, I looked at that, I was like, how do I make that a little bit more scary? Just make it bigger. Burger down. Yay!
Sorry, I had a kid that needed something for a second there. Yeah, very, very scary. I hope you guys have been here, those of you who are just joining us for all of this awesome art. We're just going to scan back through. We were sharing. Both wins. Watchman's Dagger. There's old Keth. So he had a very fun story, and I was super sad that we only played him for a little bit. But he's a martyr from Valdez, but I played him as a paladin for the first couple sessions because his his whole thing was he didn't want like everybody to know what he was doing, but he was somebody who had he was sentenced to die, and the reason he's got the scars is they removed his mane after the things that he did in service to one of the big baddies of one of Nate's campaigns, the alien telepathy space bug things, I guess, that are coming. Like he served
the
them.
Void Tush?
Yeah. So he served them initially and was like helping their cult. And then for punishment, because he would basically go to these towns and try to convince them to join, and if they didn't, he would kill everybody. He wore a harness of iron, like wires. Like he took iron wire cabling and they had to stitch this harness and had to go to each town, bury everybody, and then take a support beam from like a tavern or like one of the main things, and he had to drag those beams from town to town, attached to this wire harness, and that's why he's got all of that fur rubbed away. And then he started to die as a result of this, and at the end of it, when he finished, he laid down to die, and one of the gods is like, "Nope, you've atoned for your sins. You get to be a martyr now, bitch, and you're gonna be my bitch now." So he wore a. There's another picture somewhere, I gotta go find it, but he had, when I initially met the party and tried to play as a paladin, and I was like, well, it's kind of hard to cover up the fact that I'm like can't heal myself and I'm bleeding every time I do stuff. But he had a plate full visored helmet that had a mane attached to it, so it looked like he was still a Leonin until I had to do something and I stripped off the armor, and because he has a feature that if he shows the mark of the martyr, he can like influence people to do certain things. But yeah,
we would be able to play that game again, but someone had to go blab on us.
Who wait, what?
The cat with the hat went and blabbed and essentially told on us. That's why Nate's been unable to continue running.
Cat with, I'm very confused. I don't know why he's
the
not in.
the Doug Dimmadome hat that Kath was so interested in.
Oh my god, that's right, the Doug Dimmadome hat.
Yeah, he went and blabbed on us and told them everything we weren't supposed to tell. So Nate's been having to figure stuff out behind the scenes on that one.
Oh, and also you guys had another game that started back up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, didn't you have another Sunday game that started back up?
The Monday night game, yeah.
Oh, that's right. We were doing it Monday nights. That's correct. Yep. Which, all for that. It was a very fun set of one-shots we got to do. An awesome weapon for Doran. Creepy Mask Barbarian. Maps. Little boys with giant swords. And really awesome armor progression art. Or, well, not armor, clothing breakdown. Outfit breakdowns. Super cool. And then we had Sarah's art too, but I closed that already because I didn't expect the influx. And then we got flooded with all the art.
You said send art.
Yeah, I did say send art, and we just started talking art and sending all the art, which is phenomenal. Okay. Well, we will take just a very quick 5 minutes to let, since we shared a whole bunch of art, put a little, seems like a good starting point to let people grab a drink or something. Because we probably won't run the whole stream tonight since we're doing road building, but we'll come back and we'll start group spitballing ideas, because Nate and I, last time we did one of these, I spitballed a bunch of ideas with him, and we came up with some good notes for Dunscaith here, the starting town. If you haven't seen it, for those of you that play in this current campaign, this is the town we will start in for campaign 2, is Dunscaith. So we are talking about Dunscaith and building up some more history around it, because we plan to spend with Pathfinder a little bit more time at the town level before we start dealing with big world changing events. So we'll be doing some stuff at the town level and be hanging out in Dunscaith for a little while, I think. It'll be nice. I think we're going to do a lot more detailed stuff in smaller regions before we start worrying about the greater world level stuff. So I really kind of want to build up this region a lot more.
You don't want to be level 3 fighting God?
No level 3 fighting God. I mean, what time did we get to Kosoba? I think we started the campaign at level 3 and we were in Kosoba by like level 4.5 or 5. So It got fucking wild really fucking quick
We
in this game.
became level 5 in Kosoba.
Yep.
Because
Yeah.
I didn't have Fireball when we went into Kosoba, but before we left Kosoba, I had Fireball.
Yeah, just casually meeting like god level creatures in Kosoba, and yeah, pacing will be slightly different in Pathfinder. But we'll take a quick break, and we'll be back, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us. I almost came back in time for holiday. Welcome back, everybody. Sorry, we got to talking about food and delicious curly fries, and then I accidentally spilled some of my grape beverage, I guess we'll call it.
There we go.
Yay! Thanks, Monsterfex.
Yay!
For gifting 5. You had to be the winner for the gift feed. Who got one? Welcome to the crew. Oh, look, Fallon Knight got one. Yay!
Zach also
Yay.
got one.
Zach did, and so did Still Chewy, which is one of our other players. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Mel,
Got it.
for the gift
Gotta
subs.
put the subs in.
Gotta get the New Year subs in.
Well, I just did my management for my sub because subs are 25% off right now, so I just did mine at the 6 month instead of just a single month one.
Wednesday.
That is
It's a little cheaper.
Let me pull this off over here because I think my Chrome is on. I've got so many stupid Twitch accounts, which is
My kitty is just lying on her back on my lap,
No.
there's my son.
and looking up and
Oh,
stretching her little paws.
No.
Oh, it's way cheaper with the 25% off.
Mm-hmm. Doing the if it's a stream you know you're gonna support pretty much regardless, then it's worth it.
Oh, that's dumb.
Hmm.
I was gonna gift Doc because he's like, oh, I guess I'll gift myself, like being whiny, but sorry, a gift subscription to this channel is not available for this user. He must have subbed himself. Yeah, it wouldn't let me do it at the discounted rate, but we'll support ourselves. Yes. There, I'll get tied with you. You actually gifted yourself. Good. We got Hype Train. Look at this. Not even a
Hype
stream that we got a
Train.
Hype Train. Hype Train!
Hype train.
Get
It's like-
stomped.
Christmas Hype Train too. It had little snowmen.
Yay!
So cute.
You gifted a sub to my friend Rose T.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
I like that. I like that name.
They're
It's
also a-
Bumblebee.
They do
I'd like
computer
some of
science,
Oh, I like.
comp sci major, and like a bio minor.
Dang.
Yeah.
Very fun.
Oh, smart.
Oh yes.
Okay. So,
Adding- What's a KRISS vector 0.45 ACP?
it's a I think it's a pistol caliber carbine, but of course Vector is actually no, it's a submachine gun that's for 45 ACP,
Oh,
which is I can't remember what ACP stands for. It's 45 caliber.
cool.
Mel, you gotta give your paladin a gun.
Yep. Big shield. Vector.
There's no guns in this current time. However, after campaign, she will effectively be immortal, so she can just wait until they are created and add a gun to it.
It is one of my favorite guns in most like video games that we play because it's a very fast submachine. But that's what a Chris Vector looks like.
Okay.
It makes it sound like an angry hum of bees. It just goes very quick.
Funny thing, my bard Mira, her husband Elias has a gun shield.
Yes.
So they do exist. Okay.
Yeah, both the satyrs,
And that-
characters
well-
that should never have guns, have the
Yeah.
only guns in the campaign.
That sounds good to me.
Especially
Our,
Elias.
Elias does not need a gun, but
Sunday game, our Murder Legs is his name. The dwarven craftsman just took 2 levels in a warden from Valdez.
oh,
And I'm very
Ooh.
scared of what he's going to do with shield crafting, because he's got these ridiculous weapons already. Now he's got Now he's like going to be locking people down with shield and weapon, so I'm terrified.
I originally was gonna do Warden for Blair, and then I was like, no, I wanna play with Witch.
Which just is so much fun. Like I've seen so many.
It's so much
The
fun.
styles of Witch have been phenomenal. Like seeing the different styles of the way they played, and I've got 3 people who have played 3 very distinctly different witches, which is fantastic. Mr. Pebbles, you know, that cute little Geppetton,
It's a witch.
He's a blood witch, so he
Ooh.
like
Oh.
rips parts of his fluff out and like to cast spells as bonus, or to cast hexes as bonus actions, and then we'll follow it up with spells, and it's devastating. But he's always been very, no pun intended, very squishy, and goes down quickly. But he will die, and he'll just be like, "Leave me," because he will do his dying curse on people, and dying curse is just devastating. It's like disadvantage on saving throws, disadvantage on attack
everything.
rolls, and
Yeah.
it's until the creature comes back to life, or until like an hour passes. It's horrifying, or until you use remove curse. So like all my big casters for that group have to have remove curse available, because that is just some absolute bullshit. Like the Void Behemoth was a terrifying fight until it killed Mr. Pebbles, and then I was like, that was a mistake. And then everything just started whooping on him. So yeah. And then very different from, you know, from Botrin's, he had, you know, sleep and charm and all the stuff that was with the purple witch, and then we've seen very little bits of Blair so far. I don't think we've seen Blair in combat yet, have we?
Not yet.
Yeah,
Next
this is,
will be first combat for her.
and just the worst. God. Like I love the direction you took her in terms of like character capability, and the way you're approaching it is just nightmare fuel. Which also one of the things that Mr. Pebbles took is he has a familiar that he keeps in brass wormling form at all times. He has like all the different he has all the hexes that boost your familiar. And he just took the grand hex of the hybrid form. So
Ooh, fun.
so he has it was not art from like us that was made by us, but he found phenomenal art for it, and it depicted what he did incredibly well. So he merges like the grand hex that we're talking about for Witch allows you to merge your form with your familiar and take on like a lot of the parts of your familiar's capabilities, but also like maintain your intelligence and your ability to cast and stuff. I'm popping it up in the browser. I can't remember where this is from. He found it online. But that's the art that he used to inspire this Blood Witch Dragon hybrid.
Oh, that's so cool.
Wow.
That's fucking
Oh, I
dope.
love it.
Yeah, it was very scary. So that is the disgusting thing that he turns into when he wants to kill things. And it's terrifying.
The fun of which you just transform into really gross shit.
Yeah, it's the best. Okay. So we would be remiss if we did not do a little bit of world building for campaign 2, fleshing out Dunscaith a little bit more. Haven't visited it since the last time Nate and I talked because, you know, holidays, a little bit busy. But for those that have not been for the previous, Dunscaith is where we're starting our second campaign. I've got my new Pathfinder books right over there. I picked up my physical copies this week.
Nice.
Yay! So exciting. The new books too, the second print. The new core versions, I think they're calling them, which have the OGL license 100% scrubbed from them, have all new ORC license stuff in there, as well as some of the fixes for Pathfinder. So
Nice.
really fantastic stuff. Looking forward to it. But we're spending some time in Dunscaith at the beginning of campaign 2, which is this small farming community that lives in the Thrust Protectorate, which is where we are beginning our second adventure. Thrust Protectorate is a lot of rolling hills and farmlands. Once part of the Hesso states, it's now ruled by a single king. This is one of the first places that got hit in the War of the Faceless, the big Burrows War. This region, though, is very the plains out here is called the Golden Reach. It's very reminiscent of the Gap of Rohan in Lord of the Rings. You know, rolling hills, herds of horses, lots of fertile farmland, things like that.
The beautiful trumpets in the background of
exactly.
just everywhere you go.
Yep, just the occasional trumpets,
Brass
but
chorus.
It's generally that single melodious French horn in the background as you're rolling over the landscape.
Yeah. Okay, I get that.
I feel it. I'm vibing.
Oh yeah.
So Dunscaith is near the mountains, the Scaffolding Range, which is home of the dwarfs, and Comtarum, their kingdom over there. But in this region, they grow a lot of rye, and they grow from the nearby mountains. They've got lots of hops off the mountainsides there, and then there's also barley in the valley. So Dunscaith is a booze town. We know there's two things that Ben loves, and that's describing good food and describing good booze. So these folks are specialists in rye whiskey and dark lagers. Really, this town was founded about 250 years ago, as you can see by the notes. They survived the War of the Faceless because basically the Hesso states and the Thrust Protectorate, like, they became the Hesso states after the War of the Faceless. There was a bunch of small kingdoms out here that very quickly fell to Burrows because they're just these small city states that could not stand up against him. And Dunscaith in this region was fairly non-consequential to Burrows. You know, it was they had to provide grains and food to the army, and they were left to live. And kind of the big tradition for them, and why it was passionate during that time, is they had been doing it for a long time, but then as everything got rationed and they had to get rid of it, the community came together and gave up their own their own beer, barley rations, their own rye rations, to be able to continue to make this stuff. So it's like a community passion, and that's why Dunscaith has become this destination. And when we go there in our campaign, we're going to be, for campaign 2, the start of it, the pre-stream stuff, you guys are going to be solving a problem as players right before the Harvest Festival, which is essentially like Oktoberfest in Dunscaith. Everybody comes in from around town. Tourists come in because they want to try the new beers that are available, but also it's like the lager capital of Lemendor, and the rye whiskey capital. So people come in from all over to tour to this town that's got this deep tradition of this stuff. So today, we're going to build out a couple families that have survived since the founding of Dunscaith. 2 of them, as you can see on the notes there, make up the bedrock of the village, we call them. They are the 2 family recipes, and their names are on the brewery and the distillery in town that carry their recipes still. So, like, good example, like really just basic example, like Sam Adams makes a whole bunch of different types of beer, but like Sam Adams Boston Lager is the beer that people think of when they think of Sam Adams traditionally. And then they've got, you know, like a dozen different flavors and stuff. So this town, Dunscaith, whatever this family is, has like this family lager that like is the recipe that has stood the test of time and is their mainstay, and it's what they sell by the keg. The dwarves have literally tunneled through the mountains and created a path to Dunscaith to be able to just ship it quickly over to the dwarves because they got tired of going around the mountain.
So when you want it so bad, you dig a hole.
you want it so bad, you just fucking go through the mountain. So I mean, Dunscaith is this tiny little farm community, and they've kept it tight knit, and it's really just, it gets big and touristy during tourist season, but otherwise it's lots of rolling hills. So these 2 families, there's one for a rye based whiskey, and one for a lager that became the mainstays of the town. And that's, you know, that's like 60 to 70% of their business is those two recipes that they sell everywhere. You know, it's pretty much ships out from the town within 3 weeks of harvest season after it's been you know, done fermenting and bottling and all those processes are done. The casks are all made and they're just like, cool, ship it all out. And we have to like keep some on hand for the party, but otherwise everybody's always taking it. So you guys will be coming in right before Harvest Festival. Is like, the thought is you guys are all individually will be coming into town or as a group have been committed to something before, kind of toying with some ideas. Off stream, you guys will solve a problem. On stream, we will come into the party during the Harvest Festival. I think Josh had a great idea with that, to put us on stream after you guys have already adventured for like 3 or 4 sessions. So it's a lot more familiar already. Well, and then we'll learn about like what happened in those first couple sessions and like build some of the backstory up at the party. But you guys will already kind of be ingrained to each other a little bit, I think.
So will the party largely meet each other in the first couple of sessions off screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's it was something we talked, Josh and I, at length, and I thought it was a great idea because you kind of look at, like, hard to not compare to Critical Role because they're a really good standard. But whenever they come together as a party in a new campaign, there seems to be, for campaigns 2 and 3, there seemed to be like 2 months of unease as they were like learning the characters and getting a bit of footing with each other and kind of like seeing how the characters played. But if you looked at like campaign 1, everybody like immediately felt like they were part of that group, listening in and like being part of those stories, because that group was already like, you know, ingrained to each other. So Josh's idea was maybe, and that's why we're going to do the charity thing between campaigns, is like Nate's going to run the charity game, so I can run the first like 3 or 4 campaign 2 sessions off screen and have that kind of like awkward meeting each other phase off camera. And then when we present the group to the world for the first couple games of the stream, you guys will already be buddies. Like, you'll be battle buddies who have gone through something together and already be in the process of working together and figuring each other out, a lot deeper connection. So we'll kind of like, the plan is to kind of jump over that awkward, do we really trust these guys phase, and just get right into, we've already built up a bit of trust. So still very fresh on learning the characters, but fresh enough that the trust is already there. You guys have established how the characters play off each other a little bit more, and we'll kind of jump in a little bit deeper into the story. And we'll use some of the party to like reflect back on like what had happened over those previous sessions, so everybody's not in the dark.
And will we do what we did like at the beginning of campaign 1 with people meeting each other separately and then meeting each other at the same time? So like
there's a couple different ways I'm considering that. For those that don't know, the way we did campaign session 1 was I did do session 0s for the first campaign, where like Sarah's character was solo. However, Josh's original character had somebody he was paired with. We had Doran and Soren were already together, and they unknowingly escorted Sarah's character during her trial. And then everybody met in a common area because the people who had been doing different things had different tasks and all came to the same place. And then something bad exploded, and like they all kind of got lumped in together as the capable people in town to do things. I'm on the fence, frankly, on how that part's gonna play out. There's very much a patron aspect to campaign 2 right now that I'm building, that you guys will be, my plan is to introduce you to either through one of the players who already serves this patron, or as a group coming into the service of a patron deity early in the game, because of the effects, like the post-impermanence era is what I'm calling it after campaign 1. The gods and deities, demigods and stuff will have a much more physical and real interaction with mortals of Cyorion because of like the things that will change as a result of all these first campaigns ending. We will have a lot more deity interaction. There will be a lot better understanding of the metaphysical universe and like what's going on with other planes of existence after this happens, because this is you guys are taking place like 25 years after campaign 1 wraps. So
Can you come in?
Sarah asked questions and then got pulled away. It happens.
Sorry,
It's
people
all good.
are
All good.
talking.
No problem.
Okay, because it's interesting to know. I'm looking forward to it a lot, but I was just wondering, like, you know, for sort of, I enjoyed like how people knew each other outside of it, and so I was wondering like if there would be. Sorry, I'm not making a lot of sense right now.
No, you're making perfect sense to me.
Okay.
It's
The
it's nice
characters
having
knew each other.
Yeah, it's nice having a couple groups of characters that know each other to make it so you're not introducing 6 brand new people to each other. So you've got little groups of 2s and 3s that know each other, and it kind of helps stitch it together quicker. There's I think one of your concepts, Sarah, has a friend, and that friend's parents are from Dunscaith. In my original fleshing out of that idea. So that's honestly the Sarah's character connection, is that like your friend's parents are from Dunscaith and you're coming back to like see them for the Harvest Festival.
Yeah.
So that's one of the ideas. So there's going to be more connection, I think, to the town, and I'm really trying to draw in more of the setting as an additional character to allow you guys not only to interact more with the setting, but to give a little bit more rich tapestry to like what's happening in the background. So it's not, you know, the trope of we're the heroes, we're going to save the day because we're here, but more, you know, we have a connection to these people and I need to help because I care about these people. And then because you all step up, you get lumped into the group of people that can do things. But realistically,
oh boy, we're gonna have to do things.
I know. Realistically, the direction though is a patron is going to be taking an interest in the group of you, I think, and like uniting under the banner of following a patron that is going to be of demigod or minor godhood status that is like worth following. So
okay,
we're trying to like my biggest in for that is kind of like looking at someone who wants to play some sort of like cleric or divine character that can have that connection, so we can have because the entire first campaign was a lot about isolation and loneliness between all the different campaigns and being cut off from the influences of the rest of the universe. And being forced to face your own realities and deal with your own problems. That's, you know, just like the writing angle I went with. So the second campaign is a flip on that of, you know, this community is the perfect example, opening up the Discord to now 50 some players and like 80 or 100 fans like just hanging out with us in there, is now all of the voices are now in Cyorion, and like how is that working with all these people now vying for their little bits of control or wanting to influence little bits of it. So there's a lot more big powerful voices, and that's kind of the difference between the two campaigns. Is the very first one felt very centered and real on the fact that you have to deal with your own problems. Now it's going to be like, hey, the universe is a bigger place and there's all these other people that are involved. How are we dealing with like gods that are trying to take a stand in like changing the course of the world? And then we're going to follow that through like how you all interact with patronage with a godlike figure that is able to give you guys access to things and rewards that are phenomenal for performing tasks for them, and of course they're going to vet you out against other people and have other groups of mortals doing stuff, and it'll be an interesting group, I think, and an interesting change of direction and tempo. But we're going to keep it very centered on like super local problems first, and this patron's going to take notice of your dealing with the local problems, and then they'll move you up to the larger scale problems. Then you'll start dealing with stuff, you know, over here in Kerpel's Bend, working up towards Gelnara, or down towards Port Greenridge, however you guys decide to go. But we'll kind of be sticking in the Threst Protectorate for quite a while, I feel.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, we could go to the... I'm from the bigger city, right? That's where my character...
I think your character's from Gelnara, your original concept.
Yes.
Oh. And that's the capital of the Protectorate.
Yeah.
And then Port
I think
Greenridge
we should go there
like
afterwards.
Port Greenridge is the second biggest city. Kerpel's Bend is a pretty large city. And then Dunscape is this like little, 1,200 person town.
Mm-hmm.
Tiny little place. But, yeah. Families. So I like to typically start with, on these guys, just like even a name for them. So we're gonna have the family that does the lager, and then we're gonna have the whiskey family, and then I have a third family in mind that basically, when it came down to it, they had another beer recipe that got beat out by the one that ended up being like the one that the group went with, because during the War of the Faceless, they kind of had enough to make one recipe, so they went with one families over the others, and they ended up like they kind of took offense to that for a while, but over time they just kind of fell into this pattern of like becoming town mayor, taking care of the governing portion of the town. Probably one of the earlier ones did it from a vindictive point of view. Younger generations may have changed, and maybe the current mayor's involved in some shady shit. Haven't decided, nor will I reveal that. We'll see. But
you could tell us it's just us. Don't worry about it.
Just you and anybody watching that plays as well. But the idea is to kind of, of the original farmers that founded this community and were working together, 3 of them have survived and stayed in the town, and have deep roots in this community. So let's build some families. I really like to kind of start from the current paternal or, the current family name before I decide like how that name transfers. If there's like if there's a tradition of women taking men's name or combining names or like moving surnames around, I kind of like to decide that later. I'd like to stick with, when I start from what's current, and then I build the history on top of that for what feels right for the group, rather than like going with just, traditionally women take men's names, and like just stick to rigid tradition stuff. So working backwards tends to be a little smoother for that, I think, because you can make up whatever rules you want as you move backwards from what's their name right now and what is this family known for. If anybody has a really fun family name that they want to throw out there, we'll get some ideas going.
The whiskey folks, their family name should be Janiel. A mixture of Jack Daniels.
Literally like one of the worst whiskeys out there. I hate that you give that the option.
Really? It's my grandfather's, that's the only thing he'll drink is Jack Daniels.
This is the last thing I'll drink these days. But I am a bit of a whiskey snob, so it hurts my soul.
Daniel.
I'll put it on the list because I like you, Sarah. We'll put Janiels on the list. But don't be surprised if it doesn't survive, okay?
But is there like a sound inspiration for like any language the names are supposed to be based on? Or are they just sort of whatever?
A whiskey name I like is a little Welsh sounding Cadigan.
Mm.
I don't have a target regional sounding name for this area. In terms of like heritages that live here, I'm gonna pull it up really fast here. It is the Demi-plane PF2E. There it is, Pathfinder Nexus. Also, if you haven't, not officially endorsed by these guys, but have followed the streamer Josh Simons, who's like the community guy for Demi-plane. Huge fan of the Pathfinder Nexus. Really cool place if you want to go check it out. Got some awesome stuff for game rolls, and they're working to be. It's actually built by the guy who built D&D Beyond. He left and went to make the Demi-plane Nexus to make these other Nexuses for these games, and he's doing a D&D Beyond type builder for Pathfinder. So I just haven't paid for it yet because we're not quite there. Once we're there, I may consider it. But so for the different ancestries that come from this region, because do remember Pathfinder does not have race class, they have ancestry and heritage in class. So ancestry, the best way to explain an ancestry for me would be human, but my heritage would be Germanic and Irish, and Scottish, because that's the heritages I come from of the human ancestry. So that's how you can kind of like explain this easier for folks who have not played Pathfinder yet. From the region, Goloma are from there a little bit. They're kind of in hiding out there. These folk have very creepy horse masks and stuff like that, but they're basically horse hominids. The Kashrishi come from this region, and as cute as those rhino guys look, do remember that they're the size of dwarves. They're very short. They're very short, cute fellas.
Little guys.
They are little guys. This has been reoriented. Is there a new ancestry that I missed? I don't think so. Oh, okay. Weird. Other people from the region, halflings come from this region. As there are some halflings in this region. They don't hail from here. They started up near the elves, but they have built communities down here. The Kashrishi are from here, and where are our other boys? Are they removed from it? That's who we're missing. I haven't seen them yet. Or if to eat dog people? Are they gone?
The Shoonies?
Are the Shoonies gone? I don't know why the...
It's on Archives of Nethys.
Yeah, it's on Archives of Nethys, but it's not listed on the hair. Oh, they maybe
Maybe they just haven't moved everything over yet.
Maybe. They used to be here. I'm not sure where the Shuni went, but the Shuni are from here. The dog people. And also Loxodon, Leonin, or Loxodon and Leonin are from here, so elephant folk, lion folk. A lot of the animalistic races come from here. So
Dogs are very cute.
humans.
The dog folk.
Yeah, the Shuni are super cute. We do love the Shuni. They're just so cute. Humans have expanded down here as well. Humans kind of expanded down everywhere.
Yeah, humans.
Humans.
As humans do.
Humans and half-orcs down here as well. So lots of different heritages and ancestries from this region. But more of the not Highland Scots, but you know, the lowland Scottish folk that were willing to bend the knee to the British Empire rule back in the day, and not the William Wallace type Highland Scots that ended up coming over here to Cath. There's some good races and species down here, or sorry, heritages and ancestries, but no specific naming convention assigned to them yet.
Okay.
So we got so far Janiels for our whiskey family. Cadigan as well.
What about Stout?
Doubt?
Stout.
Stout.
Oh, okay.
As in-
Misheard you.
As in like
We've got a lot of dwarves and halflings and the small little rhino folk. I feel like they're all stout people. So
So maybe for our logger family, something along the lines of stout something. So we could do the combo name of like stout grain. Or
ooh, I like it.
somebody out here like stout grain would work for. The dwarves did come out later. I don't think they've fully emigrated out here, but they have definitely tunneled out because they're like, beer please. It was really the worst part for them was the fact that they own this territory up here along where the mountains end, because they own the mountain. But for the dwarves of Comtaroom and there's a city, I can't, it's in one of the other games, but the notes for that is in a different game. But the city has to come up this river through Gratelin, which is this area up here. The Gratelin's this like multicultural plutocracy that exists in this like little weird pocket. So the dwarves have to travel up through here along their roads, out through the Hesso states, come around the mountains to get down to Dunscape. And they said, fuck that, drill through
Would
the
you
mountain.
remind me what a plutocracy is?
Plutocracy is a government that is run on money.
Okay.
Gold is votes here. In Gratelin, that's where the first campaign for Cyorion took place, is in Gratelin. And their motto is no man is bound by his station for the whole kingdom. So basically what it says is, you know, their whole motto is that anybody can earn money and buy their way to the bigger and better things, but there are protections in place to ensure that people are allowed to. It's very, very free markets, and they don't allow businesses to like be more than people, but the individual is allowed to run his own business and not have to pay a ton of taxes. And like, no, not U.S. government. They're not U.S. It is the ideal version of, you know, free market and good economy, that, you know, businesses will die in the free market if they fail, and do well, and if they can do well, then they succeed on the merits of the free market, not the merits of the government stepping in and taking over. The entire government and all the bureaucracy, there's just shitloads of red tape in the bureaucracy to keep businesses from operating as people, and to make sure that people can earn their way to a better place in life. And that's the whole purpose of this place. And the entire point of, like, it was hilarious because this is all going back to like the people around the table seeing Edstow, the city in Gratelin, they were playing it. They were like, oh, this is the Eat the Rich campaign, right? Because literally we were at the height of COVID in 2020, when like a year after this started, and they were in a city that had managed to put people in government positions to circumvent the rules of the kingdom, to make it so the rich got richer and nobody else could rise above their station. And yeah, they were like, this is the Eat the Rich campaign, isn't it? This is your high fantasy of getting to literally chew up the 1%.
No,
To which
no.
I said then, and I'll say again, shut up, leave me alone, let me have my fantasy.
Tasty 1%. I like
Mhm.
my. Oh, I was gonna say 1% milk, but I feel like that could be taken differently.
Yeah.
So
So yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, you put him in the video games area. You should have definitely thrown him in. What general would work for game systems? I don't really have a spot for extra characters. I am going to check into that after stream here and give you a little feedback, because I want to finish up these families before we get out of here.
Ooh, Baldur's Gate 3 downloaded. Yes!
Oh snap!
Yes.
So we'll
It
make sure
just
that this
finished.
works.
Hooray! How long
Perfect.
did it take?
I started downloading it before I got on chat, on
Oh
voice
wow.
chat.
Oh goodness.
It took a minute, but it got there.
Hour and a half.
You know, I am going to look at some. Let me get some Belgian style last names and some German style last names for our blogger family because they may have some interesting ones. Like
Wagner.
Von Schepdahl.
Like,
Schroeder.
Tibergain is interesting. Kind of like that. Tibergain. Tyberghein. So write that spelling down so when the name comes up in the game, you guys can be like, oh, let me guess how to spell it for hero points, which is basically inspiration. And pretend like you've never heard it before. As Nate is like, how many apostrophes does that have? And you go, 0. I'm smarter than Nate at Ben's naming conventions.
Ooh. Brendemühl. Mühl. That looks like a fun German last name.
Oh my goodness. I was thinking very easy German names like Sperber or no, not Mueller.
Bueller.
Nostitz. What? How? Say that one more time for me.
Which one?
The one you had, the really long
Oh.
one. Oh, you posted that.
Brendemühl.
Brendan Mule.
I put it in chat. In the
Mule.
stream chat.
Brendan Mule. I really like. I'm gonna add that to our. You know, actually, who I really like that for? That sounds like a very, very unfriendly governing family name, Brendan Mule.
Ooh,
Does-
Chronister. That looks like a good one. Variant of Clonasta. Upper Austria. The name means crane's nest.
Here's an interesting one for you. Laug.
Laug.
Thalaug. F-T-H-E with an accent. Thalaug. L-A-O-G.
The Laug.
Thalaug. Chronoster and... Oh, I like Chronoster. That's a really good one.
Clonasta.
Chronoster.
Yeah.
Let me see if we've got...
Doerflinger.
Doerflinger? What?
I kid you not.
that sounds like a
Doerflinger.
name of a horrible little gremlin character.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Compare to Derflinger.
Oh.
I'm gonna have to add one Scottish whiskey name of Macmorgane. That's a fun one. Doerflinger. You know, I feel like if I put Doerflinger in it in the running, Sarah would be thinking of ways to bastardize Doerflinger for the first time I said it. She'd have a list ready come day one of the campaign. It would not happen in the
Absolutely.
pre-stream. It would not happen in the the sessions -4 through -1. But session 1, she would be like, I am ready. Here are the shitty ways to say doer flinger.
Engeldinger. Engelhart.
Ooh,
I can't do the double
I just like
ET.
Engelhart.
Oh.
E-N-G-E-L Hart, H-A-R-D-T, Engelhart.
Yeah, that's actually how it... This this is what it was. Engelhart.
Champion, right here.
Champion.
It's right there in the notes. I typed before I seen it. Oh man. Engelhart. This is me spending way too much time looking at random fucking names to come up with interesting things. Oh my god. Are my notes? Okay. Whew. I just realized.
I don't want to find you on Pinterest. I want to keep looking at names.
I just realized my NPCs list was flown out on the side, but I was smart and I covered up my folder structure. So you guys couldn't see that stuff.
Fuo bomb? Fey. Fey. Fickle.
I think we have some good ones. Because I have found if I spend too much time looking at names, I'll have a list of 30 names and not have a decision.
Okay.
I think that's the hardest part about writing this kind of stuff, I find, is that sometimes you just have to fucking stop thinking and YOLO something at the board and just go for it, you know? Just see what sticks. And we found 3 for each, I think, that stick pretty well. And we have some decisions to make, and, you know, I've seen this the entire time, and I'm going to go ahead and just fucking get in here and strike it through now, because Janiels can just get the fuck out.
Ouch.
As much as, hey, have a happy New Year, Phalanx Night. Just double check Discord when we're done. Yeah, I'm sure some folk will give some feedback on that character for you. All right. I mean, you've got some other suggestions in here. I just don't think Janiels
fits
is
good
for you. However, I'm gonna come down here and add the honorary. Give someone the first name of Janiel.
I like it.
Somebody's gonna get the first name of Janiel in this town,
and we're gonna bully him.
Oh god, I'm gonna make him an asshole just so it's easier to bully.
Good.
Make it so easy to bully him. All right.
And just so we're on the same page, Ben, I don't like Jack Daniels. I've tried it, and it's not my whiskey or alcohol of choice.
Well, I've got plenty of other whiskey out here for you to try when you make it out here. We've got some good stuff. Oh, I have a phenomenal Basil Hayden dark rye that I worked on this last week. That was just delicious. And then, you know, hey, we'll have some Von Payne whiskey real soon here.
What's that?
It's the whiskey that Mel's fiance is partnered with for their Twitch stream.
So cool.
Yeah. So I have I got the 2 bottles coming, and I got a flask that's got his Touchpad Warrior signature on it. I'm very excited.
Those flasks are so cool.
I'm super excited. It'll be here Wednesday. I'm going to use that exclusively. I bought
that
this one. That
might have been why
myself.
it took so long, because I know they were just kind of making the flasks to order. So.
Oh, that could have been it. I think there's a taste of the Basil Hayden left in there. That's it. Okay. Lager family. The name that has survived, that is on it's either on the brewery, or is the name of the lager that is the, you know, like the stout grain lager, like that lager that they sell. It's their main one. I haven't decided if, you know, it's going to be a top to bottom branded type deal of that family yet, but what do we like for that name? I've got stout grain for our short folk that are in the region. We've got Tibergain or Chronoster.
I like stout grade.
Me too.
I do like Sarah's initial stout suggestion for our lager, which is funny because it's the stout grain and it's not a stout, it's a lager, which are 2 distinctly different types of alcohol. Oh,
yeah.
2 distinctly different types of beers. Sarah, what do you think? Stout grain make it through?
Yeah.
I think
I
so
also
too.
do like Chronoster, but I feel like we could also just put that somewhere else.
Oh yeah, these are not getting removed completely. These are getting chopped and thrown down here to be people about town. because I do not take bad names and throw them away. I take them and repurpose them. Janiels has made the cut for getting cut to being a first name. So our whiskey family, I've got MacMorgan and Cadigan. I still like Cadigan for my rye instead of MacMorgan, because that's a Scottish name, which is definitely, you know, elicits.
Mac Morgan feels too real.
Yeah.
MacMorgan
Cadigan.
feels very
Not fantasy enough.
Yeah, I feel like I'd, walk down the street and meet someone named,
MacMorgan. Yeah.
yeah.
MacMorgan definitely doesn't fit the vibe. Oh, well, you know what? MacMorgan, just get that one. I can find a spot for MacMorgan somewhere else, but I'm not going to leave it on this list. I don't think it belongs out here. It fits more in Galea, honestly, because that's very heavy Nordic Scotch, like Irish influence way up north there. That's kind of that whole region. So I don't think it fits down here as well. And then our governing group, this is the family whose logger did not make the cut and ended up these guys. I think that initial family. You guys doing trash, Freya? Okay. That box. So this family, I think during that initial, kind of after the War of the Faceless ended, this family took the opportunity to try to be a little underhanded and maybe made it a little tough for Dunscaith to get back on its feet with that initial person running the town. They were a little bit underhanded and less than nice to the Stout Grain family in the initial takeover of the governance of this town. And it really took until Generation 2 or Generation 3 after the War of the Faceless for this family to really turn it around and stop being absolute shitheads to everybody.
I like Engelhart because it sounds like Angel Heart. And that could be like a fun, like, back and forth of angel in a way that's like, oh, we say we're angels, but we're actually like really mean, versus, hey, we're actually trying to be good people. And so it'd be an interesting, like, living up to the name.
I like Engelhart a lot as well. I don't like Thalaug anymore. The more that I look at it, the more it hurts me. So I'm just gonna say Thalaug, period. Thalaug was from a generator of Morgans, the water spirits from like the Morgan Le Fay stories.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Thalaug was a generator off of the Morgans. So Engelhart, I do like a lot as well. I know, Sam, Mel, what do you think?
I like Eaglehart.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Brendan Mule family is definitely still around.
Daniel Brendan Mule.
I think, honestly, I'm going to do this. The Brendan Mule family, closely with the current generation of Stout Grains.
Mm.
The Brendan Mules are definitely involved in the lager production. And the Engelharts are... Okay. We got our three families. Let's kind of reset this up a little bit here. It's just on my notes program that makes it a little easier. This should collapse properly. Maybe. There we go. The Stout Grain, Cadigan. larger. God, I can't type when I'm on stream. It makes me look horrible. That. Let's make sure we grab the Brendan mules. Brendan mules. There we go.
Blendemule.
Brendan mule. Not Brendan mule, it's Brendan mule. We get it. Cardigan. The Engelhardt family beat out by the stuffed grains. And they began governing the town. Cool. Let's spell stout grain properly there.
Bye-bye.
So now, from this is even this little bit of foundation gets the gears turning on like what's happening in town currently, and you know, who's running what. Like easy thing would be the Stout Grain family owns the brewery, the Brenda Mules basically run it right now. The family lager is still the recipe, but the Stout Grains have as a family, in terms of like notoriety in the region, have kind of fallen out of favor a little bit. They still have the lager, but the Brenda Mules have come over as a family to support them, and now this brewery is run mostly by the Brenda Mules, whereas the Stout Grains, you know, have maybe they got their position kind of got taken to their heads a little bit in the last generation, and they're a little bit self-fart sniffy type people, you know, a little bit full of themselves. Now this just offers up some interesting ways to approach this. If we go back to our layout here, I like the idea of the brewery just being named the Dunscaith Brewery, and kind of keeping it more of a town thing, rather than you know, a belonging to a family. So the Brenda Mules have taken over most of the operations of the Dunscaith Brewery, but they still create the Stout Grain Lager, like the namesake lager of the Stout Grain family, which opens up some interesting cultural and like political things inside the city. What's going on with the Stout Grains? Why have they fallen out of favor? Maybe that's something that you guys begin to investigate. Like, have the Brenda Mules begun a kind of hostile takeover? Did they push the Stout Grains out? Have they taken advantage of some weakness in the family? Very small town politics, you know, but still politics nonetheless. Something interesting to check into. And then the Cadigans, the juxtaposition there, I do like the Cadigan distillery that makes Cadigan rye whiskey. You know, that being like a family thing. They make that. The lager was the easy thing to produce because it required less grain, less work, less time aging. So during the War of the Faceless, like very little Cadigan rye survived, but the lager, a little bit easier to produce, takes less time. So people were able to give up a little bit of their their rations and put something together for the community. Because during the War of the Faceless, remember, everybody was on rations, had very small amount of stuff, and families gave up a portion of their ration to make lager instead of bread. Which is what made this place special. Spitballing thoughts. I don't know. Anybody got feedback, ideas?
Sounds cool.
Okay, cool.
I'm just trying to think of what weird, ridiculous, extremely personal small town politics would be going on.
So much. And you know, that's the best part about the small town. Is that there's
There's
so
a
much...
Romeo and Juliet side story happening between two of the families.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
The
I was thinking, like,
Cadigans
some
and
minor,
the Stout Grains.
there's like a. I was thinking like someone was like there was like a competition of like beer at some other place, and one family won, and the one other family was real snuffed about it. So they snuck in and tried to find the recipe, got killed. There's whole drama.
It's good drama.
I'm just trying to write a soap opera.
Oh god, yeah, it's gonna be so soapy out here.
Dude, I ran that drama for my Friday game because we started a similar situation at a harvest festival, and their first
Gotta love the
their
harvest
first thing was
festival.
to go stop a dude who was trying to steal the recipe from the bartender, which
Yeah.
spiraled very, very badly.
Oh no.
I like one of my favorite small town political tropes is family falling out of favor and owing substantial amount of money to another family, because in a small town everybody knows your debts and it becomes everybody's business, you know. So if this family owes this family 20,000 gold, like, it's a huge deal and everybody's heard about it.
Mm.
And it's a big
Ooh,
shame
phone
point,
committed.
but nobody talks about it because it's so faux pas to talk about it in the small town. And then you have, you know, you've got your other taverns where all the people come to visit, but then you've got, you know, the private club that the families will go have the finer vintages at, but you don't bring things up at that club. That's where all the nice families get together. All the farming community people, they still live out on the farms, but there's a very small, rich subset that runs this town, is my vision for it. And amongst them, there's definitely going to be one shady asshole that's pulling some bad strings.
Yeah, someone committed arson, and then the one family had to ask another family for money, and that family was the one that burned down their house.
Just the layers of this daytime soap opera are building so deliciously.
Oh,
That's what we want.
I would lose my mind if I had to live there.
That's what we want. We want these people committed to these bits, and this little group to have to explore all these shenanigans for a little bit of time. Because, you know, what else are you doing from levels like 1 to 3 in Pathfinder besides saving small towns from killing themselves? Deal with the local giant rat problems and other things. So
Yeah, the giant rats are terrifying.
they are.
Ugh.
They are. I mean, there's a fairly good amount of stuff in, like, just going and looking at Archives of Nethys. We'll just quickly go look at creatures. We'll go by level, descending. So I mean, there's like even unseen servants start at -1. There's plenty of stuff. Guard dogs -1, little goblin warriors, kobold warriors. We can refit these to any ancestry. You know, giant rats are -1s, vipers, sprites, crawling. There's urchins, apothecaries, physicians, servant, all these guys. Perfect stuff for small town shenanigans for you guys to have to be dealing with. And then, you know, we're not even getting up to the level 0 stuff. The tooth fairy is like level -1. Let's get it loaded there. There it is, tooth fairies. And the Pathfinder has such unhinged art. If you have not looked at it, oh my god. That's the tooth fairy.
Beautiful.
Oh,
Exactly as they should look.
It's the greatest.
Oh no.
It's a level -1 tooth fairy. It's a tiny fae.
God, it reminds me of this one fucking movie, and I can never remember of the title of it. But it was this family in a house, and there was a like hole in the basement. The little girl opens up the hole, and there's these weird ass little creatures that come out, and the family gets away, but I think the house girlfriend gets killed. It was fucking weird. I can never find the fucking name of it. But the little monsters looked exactly like that shit. There's a horde of them.
You know,
Are
giant-
do these tooth fairies just go up to people and rip out their teeth?
So lone fairies usually need several minutes of elbow grease and a sleeping or restrained subject to extract a tooth. They do have tooth tug. It's a manipulate. They have to, if their last action was a successful pliers strike against a creature with teeth, they can tug at a tooth and deal a persistent 2 bleeding damage to a target to rip out a tooth. The best thing about them, though, is their plaque burst feature. When killed, a tooth fairy bursts into a sticky, foul-smelling white dust. Each creature within 5 feet of it must make a DC 16 Fortitude save or become sickened 1.
Disgusting.
They just explode into plaque when they die.
Gross.
It's so good.
Mm.
We do love them.
Biofilm, we love it.
Yeah. And sickened is such a good condition in Pathfinder because it you take a penalty to your to all your checks and DCs equal to the sickened value. So if you critically fail, you're sickened 2, and so you get a -2 to all your skill checks and DCs. So like your DC of like someone beating you in a perception versus your stealth, your 16 stealth now becomes a 14 because you're sickened 2. You know. It's great. It's great. It works both directions. You don't. It's not just easier for you to fuck up. It's easier for other people to spot you and like see your fuck ups. But it's the unhinged nature of Pathfinder, and we love it. Yeah. We have plenty of stuff for you all to deal with just in those first few levels. Like, what havoc would a fire wisp wreak on a distillery during the height of the season? You know. And even like if you've lived anywhere where there's silverfish that exist, right? These I don't know if any of you have seen the little beetles, the silverfish that if you like squish them, they've got that really shiny silvery.
I hate them so much.
Yeah.
Are they like? I'm trying to remember. Are they like super tiny?
They are.
Or-
They're fairly small.
They're like-
you know, they're about
Okay.
They're just about like 4 or 5 millimeters in length.
Oh yeah, I think I have. Yeah.
They like to get into like wood and books and stuff like that. So this is a giant silverfish which eats a steady diet of spellbooks and lore books. And they're a level 0 monster. They're just fantastic. We love them. A common pest with a silver carapace and an undulating fish-like scuttle. So we've got plenty of stuff to mess with you guys with, and like even pest infestations in a small farming community is efficient work for level 0 creatures or characters as they learn about local politics and garner the attention of some powerful deific being that wants to be your guys' patron. I have never seen that before. Oh my gosh. A necromunculus. That sounds
What?
amazing. There are homunculi with notable differences between the undead creatures and the constructs they're named after. Oh, it's from the Pathfinder Zombie Feast release. Look at him. He's just a little necro goblin imp thingy. He's got an undead master. Necromunculus. God. Some of the most interesting creatures. But yeah. Plenty of stuff for you guys to deal with in a small country village. Do y'all have any art updates? I know y'all have been working on some stuff. Any last things you want to share before we call it an afternoon, an evening?
Yeah, I'm just trying to draw a pinup, so probably can't share it here.
We love it. You should
So-
definitely join the Discords if you want to see the pinups. That's where all the fun stuff is.
Wow.
I will excitedly watch the Sinners channel.
Yeah. Have to keep a close eye on that one. Well,
Bless you.
sorry we didn't get to some exciting combat tonight, but as we said, we got friends with family still in town, and real life always comes first for this game. We are not a full-time production by any means, so we thank those of you that got to hang out with us tonight, see some world building, see some beautiful artwork, get to chat with Sam, our resident artist, who we hire out for most things, who is not able to oh, my child just lost a tooth. Did you just rip a tooth out of your head, or did it pop out normally?
Tooth Fairy came.
Tooth Fairy.
We were literally just talking about a tooth fairy monster from Pathfinder. It's kind of scary. Yeah.
Here,
It's-
give the tooth to her. So
I don't want your tooth. No, I don't want your molar. Take your molar.
Ooh,
No,
nice, a molar.
Oh, a molar.
That should be at least $2,
Get out of
right?
here.
Mhm.
Goodness.
They said to give me $1. So hand it
They
over.
said $2.
Oh, I got $2?
She's so excited.
Hell, I do.
Lord. It's the eldest who knows of the origins of the Tooth Fairy, and followed by one of the younger ones who's like, go put it in the cup for the Tooth Fairy. So I can't actually talk to the older one about it because she knows the
Yeah.
secrets. She
Good secret.
knows.
Keep it safe.
It is. We had a really fun way with Santa, when she discovered that she was like, I don't think Santa's real. And someone had posted this fantastic parents letter to your child as they discover Santa that talks about how the magic now gets to live within them, and they get to be Santa and perpetuate the magic to youngers. And our oldest thought that was the coolest shit. She's just like, I know the secret
That's very
now.
cute.
And I'm like, I was so happy when she's like, what can I do to help be Santa? And I'm like, you're the best. Thank you for being a good kid.
No.
No, it's so nice.
Lord
adorable.
Keeper now.
So she was very excited to help out and get to be part of the Santa tradition now. But yeah, if you have not yet, please join the Discord. Join in and see all the awesome art from Sam, who you can find at s.bowne on Discord, or sorry, on Instagram. I'm putting the art link back up there. Mel, who's now a player with us on the Monday stream game, you can see on Instagram at MonsterFX, Monster FEX. And then Sarah, obviously one of our original cast members, hanging out with us for the day. You can find her on Instagram and anywhere else on the web, apparently, at SassCat21. Been fun world building and hanging out with everybody. We wish you a happy new year, a joyous 2024. Remember, as we enter to the new year, you're not alone in dealing with any difficulties. You always have friends and love with us. Please join our community and hang out with us, or find friends to be a part of for the new year. None of us are alone in this madness, and we're all here to lean on each other. So enjoy your new year, and we'll see you all next week. Thanks for joining us today. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.